for our last episode in Custer. We're going to be canoeing in Sylvan Lake, horseback riding, riding pontoon boats, and riding hot air balloons. I mean, we're talking the land, the sea, and the air. We're going to be seeing Custer from all three. Kyle, I think Sylvan Lake really speaks for itself of why you'd want to come out here. It's gorgeous, but tell me a little bit about some of the different aquatic activities we got going on out here.
So we do the boat rentals right here at the lake. We've got different kayaks, we've got stand-up paddleboards and canoes. So whether you're just out here by yourself having fun or you have the whole family with the kids, we've got something that can appeal to you.
So maybe someone like me who's abhorrent at balancing, canoeing is available to me.
Absolutely, yeah.
So Sylvan Lake is actually a man-made lake, but it makes for a good scene out here, beautiful. It's nice and cool in the higher elevations when you're in Custer, so if you're trying to escape the heat, it's about 30 minutes outside of Rapid City. Here you are. So at Custer State Park, this isn't the only lake that we have. We have a bunch of different other lakes.
Yeah, there's quite a few lakes throughout the park. We've got Legion Lake, which is just down the hill. We've got Stockade Lake, which is only, a quick 10-minute drive away from here. That's going to be the only lake in the park that allows motorized boating on it. The other ones at Legion Lake have rentals just like we do here with the kayaks, the canoes, and the stand-up paddleboards.
And something that I've noticed, you got a nice cool air up here, so if you're in Rapid City, you're dying of the heat, you come up here, you're talking 10 to 15 degrees cooler temperatures up here, maybe a nice breeze up here. So you got different weather up here, and that's one of the draws.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got your 2 billion-year-old rock. Really seeing some of the beauty that Custer State Park has to offer from the water.
We do drop down at night, down into those low 60s, high 50s, so the water never gets too crazy hot. So it's a nice, after a long hike or something, take one of our crafts out and cool down in the water.
Something that I've noticed while I've been out here is that Sylvan Lake is really this perfect combination of if you wanted to take your family to their first nature area, or you're like, oh, I'm not really sure about nature, but this has a great mix of everything. You really have these wide open spaces. You have this gorgeous scenery. You're right up against a large state park, but there's a lot of conveniences around you as well. And I see a lot of first-timers out here.
We've got 9 different trailheads that start right here at the lake. So whatever your experience or skill level is with hiking, we've got a lot of different opportunities for you. And like you said, the views, if you just want to sit in your car and experience the views, we're the start of the Needles Highway, which has some of the most spectacular views in the hills.
Yeah, that's a 5-minute drive up the road. That's one of the cool things about coming up to Custer State Park. You got people from all over the country who coming up here to escape a little bit. Everyone's in a good mood out here.
So if you're just coming to Custer State Park for your first time, a couple things that I would encourage you to look is obviously the Needles Highway. Take that down to the wildlife loop so that you can see the bison this time of year.
That's right down the road.
Yep, that's right down the road. It's at the end of the Needles Highway. So it is about a 45-minute drive, but it's a spectacular drive through the hills. And the bison herd is out in full force right now. They've got all their babies running around.
The cinnamons.
Yes, we affectionately call them the cinnamons because of their color on that. So I definitely wouldn't miss that. But then also up at the lodge, if you're up here for the day, our restaurant is open. We are taking safety precautions on that with social distancing and doing all the sanitizing and things like that. But we do serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So not to miss that.
See, I'm a coffee guy.
Definitely, coffee in the morning. It's important. And we've got some great local coffee grounds at our general store too.
Really? You got local stuff?
Yep, we've got a ton of local stuff here. We try to support as many South Dakota businesses as we possibly can.
You really have just gorgeous amounts of space to explore, but also the conveniences of whatever you might need close nearby.
I've got Tank.
So this is Tank.
Yes, it's Tank. You're
Wow.
gonna put your left foot here and swing your right leg over for me. Go ahead and hold one hand out like this. All right, there you go.
Wow. You're a good-looking dude.
Just as a reminder, it's up towards the ears, left to go left, right to go right, straight back to your belly button to stop. If you keep pulling back, that's gonna send them into reverse, and we don't wanna do that today.
This is the way to go. So we're here at Bluebell Stables, and obviously, given all the horses, we kind of know what activities we're talking about out here. Can you talk a little bit about that?
We have 60 plus horses in our herd at all the time. We have 1 hours, 2 hours, half days, and full days going out. We also have overnight trips if that's something that people are interested
Wow.
in and they want to get out and about exclusively in the hills.
Well, that's an adventure right there. Tank, you're so good at this.
He's kind of like a giant teddy bear. We have horses both for the most novice and then for the most experienced people as well.
Awesome.
Like a lot of versatility within our herd.
And you're talking about an environment that's perfect for this kind of adventure. You're talking about the Black Hills. Can you think of a better way to see the Black Hills really than by horseback?
Definitely can't travel as far, you can't travel as fast, but there's a certain beauty to it in itself.
You listen to folks that have poetry about it, you know, the companionship between, you know, his horse or her horse and traveling around, and there's a companionship?
Yes.
You can't really have that with a car.
No. It kind of slows somebody down. A horse can only go so fast, and it almost kind of lulls you into like relaxation, and you really stop and take in the Black Hills as they are at a much slower pace that you don't get from, I think, any other outlet. So all of our trails, we have exclusive access down in there. There's no motor vehicles, and they mostly follow French Creek the whole time. So just the wildflowers, the tall grass, the hills in the background, it's absolutely beautiful down there. Around to a historic sawmill. So it used to be owned by the Bell Telephone Company, and they used to float the lodgepole pine telephone poles down the creek.
So you're really seeing a lot of history and wildlife when you're going on this trail. It's not just about being on horseback. You're really seeing a whole lot when you go out on this.
Yeah, there's always something new to point out to a guest.
So you're talking about folks of all skill levels. Let's say I'm new here to Custer State Park. Let's say I've never ridden a horse before. This is still a great place to come to learn how to do that.
Yep, probably 90% of our guests have never been on a horse in their life. And we take kids as young as 5 on the 1 hour. They have to be 7 years or older for the 2 hour and 10 years or older for the half day or the full day, or if we're looking at an overnight as well. So we don't discourage anybody if it's their first time, they're completely new to it, we're like, come try it.
And if you're under 18, do need to wear a helmet.
You do need to wear a helmet.
So we got that. So safety is just one of those things that is ingrained here as well. So I enjoyed my ride. That was amazing.
Glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
The tank's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And throw your leg behind you, come off really easy. There you go, you made it.
Wow. Holy cow.
Nice time.
It's amazing. That's awesome. That's so good. You are so good.
So now Tank gets his bridle off, and then he gets to go get a drink, and then he'll go back to his panda stall.
Only the best for Tank. Let it be known that Tank is the #1 horse. There are different ways that you can experience the Black Hills, but there is a strong argument to be made that this is one of the best ways to be doing that, because you're not just seeing the hills, you're exploring it with your companion, and that's basically what you feel like at the end, is that you have a companion that you shared that with. Put that at the top of the list of things that you need to do while you're up here. So you really can't have your natural experience if you want, you know, rowing a canoe or, you know, maybe with a kayak. But for those who like the motorized version of things, this is one of the ways you're gonna wanna see the Black Hills. We have Angostura Reservoir out here. And if you're looking for a relaxing day, I mean, full to the max, no paddling required, this is the way you wanna go. So I'm coming to Angostura Reservoir. Tell me a little bit about why the pontoon boat's a great way to see what we got going on out here.
Well, you know, there's over 40 miles of shoreline out here. Pontoon is a great way to be able to see it all and be able to get out and enjoy it.
So I'll be honest, when I think about the Black Hills, I don't think about a marina.
You don't think of the lakes much out here, and this is one of the biggest lakes that we have out here. It's shallow in comparison to the two up in the hills, so it warms up way faster than they do. I mean, we'll jump 2 degrees a day usually on hot days.
This is an awesome place to come to.
Definitely.
If you're trying to maybe have a little water action for the day, maybe you're tired of the rocks.
That's right. Tired of the house.
Tired of anything, it's just make an excuse to go to the lake.
Yeah, you don't need an excuse to go to the lake.
Rumor has it, and I think I saw fish.
Oh, there's definitely fish in here. We got carp, walleye, catfish, large and smallmouth bass.
So you're telling me that even with my absolutely non-experience with fishing, even I could catch something out here?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, you're basically parking yourself out in the middle of the lake if you want to. Nice, warm, sunny day, even a cool day like this, good day for fishing. You're making the right choice either way.
Exactly. There's so much to do out here.
Yeah, you didn't imagine this when you were thinking of the Black Hills, but it's here, and it's a good time.
There's hiking trails all over the place here. There's a walking path that goes 5.5 miles down south down here. And it's all paved for the walking path, or there's just nature trails around the backside, on the other side of the lake and stuff like that. It's just a beautiful experience to be able to get out in nature and just enjoy it.
You can probably see all sorts of different animals crossing.
Definitely see a lot of different animals out here. A lot of different bird species. We even have some endangered bats out here. They're pretty cool. They keep the mosquitoes down, so.
Well, that's a big plus. I'm a big fan of that.
This is our fishing pontoon. They're super easy to run. I mean, it's basically like a car. You just start it up, you can barely hear the engine. It's super fuel efficient. That's all you got. You got the forward, the further you go forward, the faster you go, and the further you go in reverse, the faster you go that way. It's got our fish finder, depth finder on here. We have a stereo here that is equipped with Bluetooth. We got the live well, and basically it just circulates water. You put this stanchion tube up, it fills the tank full of water, dumps out the tube, and then it just keeps that water circulating. So that way you can keep all your fish alive that you catch.
So if I want to, I could bring my swim trunks. go out, pull out in the middle of the lake, swim around a little bit?
Oh yeah, definitely. Right now we're at 69 degrees in the water.
Wow, okay.
So I mean, it's a huge difference. The ones up in the hills, you're
Woo! Those are frozen over sometimes all the way to, to March. Yeah, so you're looking at warmer stuff here. And I say I'm a polar bear when it comes to the water. I'm gotta be at least a little bit warm, and that's my cup of tea.
any shoreline is either sand or the big rocks like this. So it's amazing. You can pull up wherever you want.
Especially with a pontoon boat like this. This is the key. You get a bunch of friends together, you explore this whole thing. Don't get me wrong, I like the adventure side of things where you're in a kayak, you know, you're out hiking and whatnot. But this is the kind of thing you want to be doing if you want to relax. Really just sit back and enjoy what's going on around you. And a great way to see some of the natural wonders of the Black Hills, including Angostura Reservoir. You got plenty of wildlife, plenty of nature out here, and you do it a little bit in style. So we're here just south of Custer in the early morning hours. This is the best time to get balloons up in the air. It's when the atmosphere is the most calm, usually in the morning. They're just getting things going right now, doing some safety checks. We'll be up in the air here pretty shortly.
Ladies and gentlemen, feel free to move about the cabin. Place your trays in the upright position. The emergency exits are obvious. Try not to use them. So this is Pleasant Valley here. It's a very, very pretty valley.
You know, what is the benefit of taking a hot air balloon ride in the Black Hills as opposed to driving through or hiking through?
Well, it's a very gentle and slow way to see stuff. So you really do get an appreciation to take it all in below you. Everything is in slow motion. It's like we're on a platform and the earth is moving slowly below us. A lot of times when you're doing something else in the Black Hills or hiking, you don't get that perspective. You can't hang out with the wildlife or the nature in that way.
You can reach out and grab a pine cone.
This is the only aircraft that you can hit a tree with and keep flying.
I left my coffee. That's definitely a perspective that I think people should be able to see when they're exploring the Black Hills, because whether you're into the wildlife, you're into the rocks, geology, you can look straight down and see the layout of the land.
Absolutely.
I mean, how many different formations did we see while we were up there? And let's be honest, from one weather nerd to another, there's no better way to experience meteorology than starting at about 55 degrees of the ground and going up 1,000 feet and ending up in 75 degrees. Do you fly in the winter?
I do, yeah. We don't really do a whole lot of commercial flying. You just go out and fly for fun and to stay current and all that stuff. But yeah, we had some amazing flights here this winter. Whatever your thing is or whatever your interest is, a hot air balloon ride or flying in a hot air balloon will pique that interest.
I do have to say, I'm afraid of heights, literally.
Well, so am I.
Yeah, and we both were. I did not feel like
No, it's a very different sensation. You're in an enclosed basket, so you feel very secure around you, and you've got lots of great things to hold on to. So when you're looking out or down or anything, I think it's totally fine. I don't get that sense of vertigo when I'm in a balloon. So certainly keep your eyes peeled for wildlife as well, folks. I put them all out here last night. I'm just hoping they didn't run away.
You can hear a deer walking in the forest, cracking twigs. I mean, it's pretty remarkable.
It is. Even when you're at 1,000 feet, you could almost have a conversation with somebody on the ground.
Why are we not doing this in the afternoon?
Well, it's a weather issue more than anything. The air is certainly a lot more unstable here in the afternoon, especially in the summer months in the Black Hills. But that's a pretty universal rule anyway. You're not going to fly unless it's close to sunrise or close to sunset. And here in the Black Hills, the weather just seems a bit too volatile in the afternoons and early evening for sunset flights.
It was a perfect day to fly today.
It was amazing.
Okay. Dry land.
Oh, it's stuck. The winds have welcomed you with softness. The sun has blessed you with its warm hands. You have flown so high and so well that God has joined you in your laughter and set you gently back into the loving arms of Mother Earth.
Look, if you're trying to find the perfect way to start your day here in Custer, really start your day, this is going to be an early morning event. You hop in this basket, you see the Black Hills, and an aerial view that's quiet, it has a perspective, and it's basically a platform to slowly observe the environment around you. You're doing pretty good. This is the way you're starting your day. I'm looking at the goslings over there. So if the canoe were to drift over in that direction, are we going to get pecked to death? Because that'd make for great TV, honestly. Make sure they mention that they have a lake. Good.
How about if you scoot down a little bit this way? Sorry. Brant, a little farther. Good. Frank, just a little baby step. Brant, a little farther. Right there. Okay.
And that's where we were?
I feel like this is exactly where we were. We didn't move at all.
All right, continue.
All right. On what? You interrupted my thought. It's one thing to send an instrument up there, but what if you can be the instrument?
Yeah. What if you can be the weather balloon?
We're keeping that. That's good.